It's 2018! Yeah! New year, new bikes! After getting numerous requests throughout last year for a green main machine, we finally got our hands on one. A Kawasaki Versys X300. Welcome to the first moto feature of the year. This episode is also Kawasaki's debut in Makina. I've had some Kawasaki's before and they didn't disappoint. In the recent years, I had a KSR 110, this was back in 2013, and a couple of years after that, a Z1000. And technically, not a Kawasaki, but under the Kawasaki badge in the Philippines, a Boxer 150 and a City 100. Two bikes I enjoyed as well. Kawasaki is the leading big bike brand in the country in terms of sales. They have been holding that spot for quite some time. In one of the releases, we see that times are changing. When you say adventure bike, what comes to mind are big, tall, powerful touring bikes. Nowadays, manufacturers are making big concepts with smaller engines. A bad idea or a good one? Let's find out. The Kawasaki Versys X300 uses the fuel-efficient liquid-cooled 8-valve 296cc 6-speed parallel twin engine, also found in the Ninja 300. Now the difference with that is it's got improved mid-range power that I feel is more appropriate to the Versys persona. How did they achieve this considering it's the same engine? The airbox shape, intake paths, and exhaust, they were all reconfigured. It's got a dual throttle valve fuel injection system, and this produces a very responsive linear delivery from low RPM up until the rev limiter kicks in at about 12,000 RPM plus. Now the top speed, if you're patient enough and if you find roads to do it safely like the racetrack, you can hit around 165 kph. And check it out, it's also got a slipper clutch. The standard seat is on the firm side, so expect a lot of butt shifting on long rides. You can change this to a higher seat, which means it'll be more comfortable because it's thicker, but that means your head will pop out more. So maybe an improvement on the X300 would be an adjustable windscreen to accommodate taller riders like me at 6 feet. The more your head sticks out, the more wind is directed to your head. And of course, that means more air noise to deal with.
Okay, so one of the other things I noticed here, while this does a great job of taking the wind off your chest, the wind is actually hitting your helmet more, producing more air noise. That's the trade-off. Some of the windshields go higher up, but it's kind of messing up your vision. What Kawasaki did, they've made it a bit lower. I'll show you what I mean. So as you can hear, wind noise, right? Hitting the helmet. No wind noise. Wind noise. No wind noise. Wind noise. No wind noise. Okay, we get it. Okay, gauge. Got your trip meter 1, 2. It also tells you your gas consumption. The whole thing is very informative. Quality, you can't complain considering the price that they're giving this. Looks modern. Fits the rest of the bike too. Pretty good gauge. Off-road? Kayang-kaya. Consider it in between a trail bike and a full-blown adventure bike because of its weight. So it's a bit of the good from both worlds. It's got 41mm Showa shocks at the front with 5.1 inches of travel, while the rear gives off about 5.7 inches of travel. I'd say this was more tuned for tough, unyielding on-road action. As for the brakes, it was ample enough, not urgent, but it's there. On the practical side of things, no argument. It's a bang for the buck bike and very attractive in this platform at 270,000 pesos. Sulit talaga. There's only one weakness to this bike and it's a glaring one at that. But it's a weakness not found on the bike. Hindi to kasalanan ng motor. Kasalanan to ng makalumang sistema natin. The Kawasaki Versys X300 can't get on the highway. Seriously, they should change that rule already. It's 2018, bring it down to 250cc. If this happens, the motorcycle market will boom. More options for the consumer. And if we have more converts from cars to motorcycles, guess what? Luluwag ang daan. Diba? Motor ang solusyon sa kahirapan natin. Morning, boss. Ay, putek. 300cc lang pala to. Ah, man. I'm so sorry, guys. Huwag niyo po akong gayahin. Nagkamali lang po ako. I gotta be mindful of this. Sorry.
In the 1 week the bike was with me, I found the bike to be very stable. The frame is rigid like a rock, and this gives a sense of macho bike credibility. Yes, it feels pretty much like a touring adventure bike sa tindig niya, but it's lighter, more nimble, and more efficient. The Versys X300 is a good bike. It looks the part of an adventure ride you can enjoy for years to come. With Kawasaki reliability between your legs, it's fuel efficient with a 270k price tag that can give leeway for you to spend on other stuff, mods, accessories, and the like. It's a great deal. Kawasaki just pushed our imagination with what can be done with a 300cc engine. The Kawasaki X300. See you.
Morning, boss. Ilan horsepower yan? Isa lang? Tipid, no?